What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to the Warframe video. So, we've got some actual kind of big meta shakeups coming with Veilbreaker. Not only is AoE being nerfed to some degree, but there's actually some buffs coming out for certain frames. One of them being Nekros. I think DE might be buffing Nekros' ability so much they don't actually know what they're thinking, but we're going to go over Nekros' ability called Terrify today and what's happening to it. And just a reminder, Terrify is Nekros' helminth ability, so you'll be able to transfer this ability to other frames. So just because I'm saying Nekros is getting buffed, the ability that's getting buffed is actually his helminth, so everyone's getting buffed if they use this helminth. But before we get into it, make sure you check the live stream channel. Make sure to sub to this channel as well, so you can know when all the content's going up. We will be doing lots and lots of videos and lots of streams. When Veilbreaker comes out, I'm not going to have any life. Just be playing this game all the time. Alright, so what are we going to be talking about today with Nekros and the Veilbreaker new meta? Well, we did learn that one of the changes that will be coming to abilities is actually going to be for Nekros, the Terrify ability. And as well, armor stripping abilities across the board are getting a buff for the most part. The armor strip percent will be a percent of total armor, not of current armor. So there will never be like having to cast this ability like 5-10 times to get full armor strip. Additionally, the Terrify ability from Nekros, what this does, we'll just go cast on these guys real quick. What it does, it lets you basically have enemies run away from you while being armor stripped. There's an augment for it called Creeping Terrify, that while these enemies are affected by the Terrify ability, they will be slowed down as well. That's actually what I'm running right here. So they're 80% slowed. They are technically armor stripped, but you can't tell because the armor strip is so low from this ability. But this slow from Keeping Terrified does stack with Gloom. So on a Gloom Nekros build, not even with that much power strength, these guys are they're pretty much just perma-stunned. And remember, they're also running away from me right now. So if I was to recast it, it would re-proc it, and they'd keep running away forever until they were dead. So it's a pretty powerful effect, but like I said, the armor strip on this ability is kind of weak, and that's what they're actually buffing. And when I say buffing, I think the word buff is a little bit of a, it's not fair to how much they're buffing it. So the current armor strip percentage of Terrify on the live build is 20%. And that 20% does scale with strength and things like that. But get a load of this. They are buffing that base 20% to 75 base percent, over tripling the base armor strip percentage of Terrify. And unless they make it not scale with power strength anymore, that means with basically one power strength mod, you are at full armor strip. Did I mention this ability goes through walls? And it scales with range too, obviously. So, once this goes through, with this exact build I'm running right now, with like one power strength mod, just Umbral Intensify, and technically Umbral Fiber gives me a little bit more as well. This will be enough to be full AoE armor strip, and then this radius is 21 meter radius. I would love to fit more range on here. I've been messing with this build a good amount, still trying to figure out exactly what I want to do. Maybe take off continuity for like Augur Reach or something. But yeah, this is a Gloom Nekros build I've been rocking, and it's been working pretty well. Like I said, we got Creeping Terrify. You don't need to do this, but it works pretty well with Gloom for basically perma-stunning enemies. So yeah, this will be... I'm just going to show you it works through walls real quick before you don't believe me, because I don't know. I feel like DE forgot how good this ability could be. And even if they did forget how good it could be, they're buffing it a lot. Like, over tripling the stats. As you can see, the enemies are affected through the wall by Terrify with this much range. We're not hitting all the way over here. But yeah, they are technically armor stripped, and if they were unpaused, they'd be running in the opposite direction, not trying to shoot me. So just look at it as like a stunning armor strip that... With the Terrify augment, it's a slowing, stunning armor strip that goes through walls. Now, like I said, that is the helminth ability as well. You do not need... This is going to be an armor strip. It might actually replace Seeking Shuriken for some people. If you think about it, not only is Ash Normal very hard to get nowadays to get his helminth, but if you want to use Seeking Shuriken for armor strip, it actually eats up a mod slot on your build. So if you want to get this active, it's like, it's easy full armor strip, although it feels like the Shurikens have a mind of their own sometimes. If I did this exact same build on Ash, but took off Seeking Shuriken and put on Terrify instead, the only big issue would be the range, as I've modded for negative range here, and Shuriken doesn't care about range. Our Terrify range would probably be like melee, basically. So, in that regard, it's not power creeping, but let's look at frames that aren't Ash. How about frames you would think about putting Shuriken on in the first place? For example, I have a Naros build where I run Seeking Shuriken from Ash. But look at that, we haven't even modded for negative range. I could technically just go and put Terrify in here instead. I would get an extra mod slot, so I could take this off. I could put whatever there. There's no, I could just put Creep and Terrify in there, honestly. Now here's the thing. If you're modding for a new build on Nekros, and you're going for Creep and Terrify, be careful how much strength you run. You don't want to go for too much strength, because, like I said, Terrify caps out at 80%, and it already starts at 60, so you don't need much power strength there. And for the full armor strip from Terrify, it's gonna be 75 at base, and then I mean, with one power strength mod, that's like, I think we'll be at basically 100 with just Umbral Intensify. I haven't really mapped it out, but yeah, it's gonna be really, really straightforward. This isn't even an endurance build. You can throw on Rolling Guard on here. I know a lot of people. Now here's another thing too that's gonna be really cool. So okay, Nekros will be permanently armor stripping everything all the time. What's the big deal? Well, Nekros Shadow Army usually has a hard time with armor. So, if you do something like a Shadow Army setup, where there's even those residual arcanes from Deimos, which I never recommend, but some people do like them. Theorem Infection, this one. Standing in a zone created by a residual arcane increases the damage of companions by 24%, stacking to 15 times. So that is going to be elemental damage for your zombie army. But the thing you have to do, you have to jump through some hoops to actually make this work. You have to be running a kit gun and be running one of the residual kit gun arcanes. So for example, let's just grab the electric one right here. So when I get a kill on an enemy with a kit gun, it will be a 20% chance to make like a electric area on the ground that if I stand inside of it, it will feed into the other arcane I just equipped, the Theorem Infection. Now my summons will do electric damage and a good chunk of electric damage too. So when enemies are fully armor stripped, I mean that's going to be an insta-kill basically. So that's one way you can look at it. Speaking about Nekros specifically, also we can just jump in there with invincibility turned off. That's what Terrify does. Let's just do that actually. I'm gonna pop Gloom and we'll pop Terrify through the wall. Enemies should not be shooting at me, except at maybe the very edges of this map. Now that I have Equilibrium, every health orb I pick up gives me energy. Every energy orb I pick up gives me health. So it feeds into Desecrate very, very nicely. So yeah, I honestly feel like Nekros might be meta after this, guys. If you want to use the Shadow Army, you can. Let me summon the Shadow Army right now. Keep in mind these guys are armor stripped. But they are doing electrical damage as I am in this area. So yeah, already getting shocked. Pretty good. Now imagine that with no armor. That would be an insta-kill on these guys, and they can't even fight back. She's technically not stunned, but she might as well be stunned. She's Creeping Terrified, Gloom, and Electric procced. So yeah, I don't know if DE realizes what they're doing here, but I like Nekros, so Nekros Prime looks cool. I'll take that. And of course, you'll be getting lots more kills in a normal mission, so the Equilibrium will be feeding your Gloom, and so on and so forth. So yeah, that's what's happening with Nekros in Veilbreaker. If you guys have any suggestions for this build, now as far as things I could maybe change out here, I want to run Combo Discipline with Avenger to get lots of red crits, just a personal thing I like to do. Keep in mind the Spoil does not proc Avenger. It's like health removal, not damage. I know some people think that this procs Avenger, it does not. But this will proc Avenger, that's why I've got it on here. And if I don't have a health mod on here, it just feels very annoying. It's like, so I'd go from 850 health to 300 health. That's me draining health per second with Combo Discipline and draining health per second with Despoil. If I'm not paying attention, I'm going to die. If my Gloom goes off, I'm going to die. That's why I've been going with Umbral Vitality here, but I'm down to hear you guys' suggestions as well. I've gone full Umbra builds on Nekros. I feel like the range is a little bit lacking right now. Like our Desecrate range is 36, and our Gloom range is 23. Our Terrify range is 21. That does not seem far enough. With Augur Reach thrown on here, it's about 26, which is better. But yeah, don't go too much into strength is what I'm trying to say. The only things that really scale with strength on Nekros are going to be his Shadow Army. So if you're modding for strength, and you want to, let's say I don't want to run Avenger, I'm going to run Molt Augmented. That will be great for giving your Shadow Army more damage. But keep in mind that pretty much it does nothing for Terrify. Terrify is going to cap out 30-40% strength for full strip, and Creeping Terrify caps out even before that at 80% slow. So this will be improving your Gloom percentage and your Shadow Army damage, which we just looked at it right there. If the enemies are fully armor stripped, this is going to be overkill on damage anyway. Theorem Infection and any residual arcane you were about to run. So I don't know. I'm still going to be thinking about it on stream today, and going forward, we still got a couple weeks at least until Veilbreaker. And the thing is, I really don't like running those arcanes. 20% proc chance is way too low for me, and I have to step in a puddle. I got to be using arcane slot here. Thankfully, Nekros doesn't need Arcane Avenger, so it doesn't really matter that much if you're running Theorem Infection or whatever else. What I was running here before was I think it was called Fury. yeah, on critical hit, increased melee damage. Now you can run the Ripkas to get more dismemberments from kills, but I'm just going to run the Stropha. Since I'll be running lots of Steel Path Fissures, just blast away the Acolyte in one shot with the Stropha. It's just good. So as far as like primaries, if you want to run a kit gun, I'm going to link in the description down below my Vermosplicer primary full crit video with tentacles. Really, really good at killing lots of enemies. There's always the Spore Lacer secondary. The Catch Moon still hits pretty hard nowadays. Tomb Finger still hits pretty hard. Most of the kit guns are still good, surprisingly. I thought they would have nerfed them all by now. And they have nerfed them all by now, but they're still usable. That's how strong they were before, apparently. So, yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Look out for Nekros being like in basically every mission, and look for enemies running away from you through walls, going forward in Veilbreaker. So, I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy. Peace.